I'm great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of disease. Welcome back to the Immigration Answer Show. Boy, my backdrop looks a little crazy. We were doing some videos today here in the James O. Hacking the Third office, and we left the light, so maybe Kent will get rid of that stuff today. Hope you all are doing well. Happy Monday. This is episode number 464 of the Immigration Answer Show. I'll be here for the next hour answering as many of your immigration law-related questions as I can. I see that our friends are already letting us know where they're watching from. Keep it up, everybody. Let us know where you're watching from, what's new with you, how was your weekend? I had a great weekend. I got to go watch Nora play softball in Southern Illinois. She has one weekend left of softball. Hopefully it'll stay warm enough for some softball this weekend. What'd you guys do? Let us know in the comments. Did you have any fun? Did you have any good food? Did you go anywhere? Just let us know. I'll be here, like I said, for the next hour trying to answer questions as best I can. Cooley has shared the link to the waiting room. Remember, I don't usually answer questions in the comments. I usually don't get to see them. I'm thinking maybe on the 500th show, we'll do a 5-hour show. Do you think I could do a 5-hour show? I don't know. I might lose my mind. But we could try it. We could try it, see what happens. That might be fun. I might need some guests and so forth. Like I don't know I can carry the whole thing. And usually now that I'm 53, I usually have to go to the bathroom every hour and a half or so. So I don't know. We'll have to figure that shit out. All right, Arslan's here and he's got a cool hat on. So we're going to start with him. Hello, Arslan.
Hey, Jim. How are you doing?
I'm good, buddy. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for taking my call, sir.
Sure. What's up?
I was actually filling the naturalization N400 to the married to a U.S. citizenship. I have a question about travel history. So I've been out of the country for about 201 days, but I never stay out of the U.S. for more than 6 months in a single trip. So I took 5 trips and I stayed not more than 65 days in any of my trip. So total of my trips were 5. So my question is, would I be still okay since I never stay out of the U.S. more than 6 months and or a year? So should I be okay, or you think it's
So
just
three
exceeded the time?
so 3 times 365 would be 9,080. So about 1,100, and you have 200 something?
201 days total outside of the U.S. in my 5 trips.
And none more than 6 months.
None of them more than 6 months.
I think you're good to go.
Okay. Yeah, I was just little bit paranoid about just, but if they're gonna ask me more proofs for that and why I stayed. I have a reason why I stayed, but I just want to make sure to be safe, before I go to interview.
I think you're good.
Okay. How was your weekend, man?
I had a nice weekend. Thanks for asking.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was nice.
Nice. Nice to see you, sir. Thank you so much for answering the
Bye,
question.
Arslan. See you, man. All right. One of my very first Muslim friends was named Arslan, so I'm happy to see this Arslan Shani. That was nice. Hey, Zulu's asking, hi, everyone, and Jim watching from Auburn. What's the status of Noor's teammate who was struck with a ball? Yeah, that's a great question. So she had to stay overnight 2 nights in a row. There was a bleed on the right side of her head, so when the ball came off the bat, she turned her head and she didn't raise her glove, and it hit her right on her ear. So she's currently not hearing, and she had a little bit of a brain bleed. I think they probably released her today. She's talking fine and acting fine, but they just wanted to make sure that she was okay. So that was very nice. Thank you for asking, Zulu. Andrea is here. Hello, Andrea.
Hi, Jim. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm talking to you. How are you doing?
I am good. Thanks for asking.
Sure.
Okay, I have a question, just one question. So I have a friend um who is visiting the US right now. Recently where we found out that he got married. And so his wife already put in the papers and everything for him. And so they're also planning to go back home to get married. to do the big celebration. And I mean, I think I recall one time on the show you did talk about this, about, if you're here and if your spouse, if your spouse placed an I-130 and the I-485 form, I think you did say not to travel.
until you get advanced parole. So when you file, if you're doing a marriage-based green card, you want to file the I-130, the 485, and something called an I-131, a request for advanced parole. And you can't leave until the advanced parole is approved and you have either the approval letter or the card that comes with it. And so that person is stuck in the United States until that happens.
Okay, even though they may be still in status.
Yeah, once you file that 45, that 1225, $1,225, you lose that if you leave the United States, and you've demonstrated immigrant intent, so they're probably not going to let you back in on a visit.
Oh, okay, good. Great. Thank you very much. At least this confirmed what I was saying, because as I
Yeah, you're
said,
right.
I did heard it before, but then I wasn't certain.
You
So
got it,
yeah,
Andrea. Good,
thanks very
good,
much,
good,
Jim.
good
Have a
listening.
good night.
See ya. All right. Hey, I want to try something. See if that works. Oh, sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't. I like to see the fireworks when that goes off. Jim may be the best. What's
Hey,
up?
Jam. This is Charles again. I was in the show before.
How you doing?
I'm doing okay. So last time I was in the show, I had my interview that was supposed to come on on November 2nd. You advised me to reschedule the interview, but I had a lawyer for the case. I went to talk to my lawyer, and then he did saw the preparation between my wife and I, and you think it was ready for the interview. And unfortunately, the day of the interview, they canceled the interview.
Interesting. This was for an I-130 or a 751?
Well, that was combined, concurrent filing, marriage
Okay.
based green card. Yeah.
What field office?
As a Phoenix, Arizona.
And what happened when you got there?
We didn't get there. It was in the 8 in the morning. I received a call from the immigration saying the interview was canceled. I was so panicked, and I went to the office of my lawyer open, and then when they opened, I called them. They confirmed that they received a call say the interview was canceled.
Did they say why?
Well, when I asked, log into EMA, and then I asked why the interview was canceled, they said for unforeseen reason.
So maybe that means your file wasn't received. How long ago did you file the I-130 and the 45?
That was August 8, 2022.
And when you got married and filed for your green card, were you in status or were you out of status?
I was on asylum, pending asylum.
Oh, well, that's why they don't have your file. That's why they canceled it.
So when I first was tracking my file online, they they request me for medical exam. So like I used to hear when they request a medical exam, that means maybe your interview gonna be waived.
Maybe.
Yeah, and then I called USCIS and I talked to the lady who told me that my interview was waived. After a month, I I received an interview notice in the mail.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I mean, they give out wrong information all the time. So your interview might have been waived. It might not have been waived. It might still
Well,
be coming. You just don't know.
the thing I was kind of concerned when they request for my medical is because when my lawyer submit our application, it didn't provide any marriage evidence. So I was kind of surprised why they request medical if they didn't have nothing showing that we have a genius marriage. I was kind
So
of
right now, have you given them marriage evidence or still there hasn't been any?
so with my lawyer sent the marriage evidence to them
With the medical?
with the medical, yes, all together.
Why didn't the lawyer send it the first time? That's weird.
Well, the medical the first time, that time that required to have two shots of COVID vaccine. I didn't have a COVID vaccine that time to submit
Well,
the.
why didn't they send the marriage evidence?
Well, because we didn't have any, we didn't have enough marriage evidence. We didn't have enough.
Okay. All right. So you got a question for me?
Yeah, my question is, what could be the issue? Because
It's the
first of all,
it's the
they said my
asylum.
uncle. Okay,
It's the
go ahead.
asylum case. It's the asylum case.
Oh, because of asylum case.
Hmm.
So what could I expect in that?
Just keep waiting. I would say if 18 months go by from filing, I mean, if you don't have an answer, I would say by the end of the year or early next year, you probably need to sue them. Otherwise, they're just going to keep sitting on it.
Okay.
I mean,
Got
it sounds like there's a lot of confusing things. They said that the interview was waived. They said that you then they sent you an interview notice. Then they canceled it. So there's lots of things that make it seem like
because
something's off.
after they receive my medical after when they respond to my medical exam, they send out the notice say uh, cancellation for additional evidence. So they say cancellation for additional evidence, and after that they schedule for the interview. I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense. So you just got to sit tight. You can either sue them or keep waiting. I'm gonna get going. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
See ya. All right, Laszlo's here. What do you say, Laszlo?
Hi, how you doing?
I'm well. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. So I have three questions, but first I'm going to give a little bit of background. So,
Sounds good.
okay, so I came on a tourist visa I had since I was 10 on September 2021. My stepmom, who is a US citizen, filed the I-130 on February 2022. I was 19. My I-94 expired on, I think, March.
Wait, hold on, real quick. Just real quick.
Huh?
How old were you when your stepmom married your parent?
Oh no, I wasn't born yet. Like it was way before.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So my I-130 was approved just last month, so it's been like more than 1 year.
Yep.
I'm now 21 years old, and I'm in the process of filing the I-485, which is the adjustment of the.
Why did you wait? Why did you wait to file it?
We didn't know that we could do a concurrent filing. We didn't
Okay.
know that, so
Okay.
we only filed the I-130 first.
And sorry, your stepmom's a U.S. citizen?
Yeah, she is.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
That was a big mistake. You know that now, right?
Yeah, it was.
So I don't need to tell you that it was a big mistake.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Okay. So now we're filing the adjustment of status, and I've been getting the medical exam and all that. So I have
Yeah.
three questions. The first one is, am I overstaying my visa? Because when we were filing the lawyer, I saw that there's this one question which is like, have you ever violated your terms of your non-immigrant status? And she put no. But then I went online, and then if I overstayed, I have to put yes, and that it's forgiven if you're the immediate relative or something like that. So I'm a little confused on that.
When was your last entry, and when did you file the 485?
My last entry was September from 2021. Like it was like 2 years ago.
And you filed
And
for adjustment when? This year?
yeah, now we're filing for adjustment, and we did the petition on February of last year.
And so you were out of status at the time that you filed that petition.
No. When we filed the petition, the I-130, I was still in status. Yeah.
No, the 45. The 45.
Oh, the 45. No, we're doing it now.
Right. So what I'm saying is, you filed that 45 more than 6 months after you arrived.
Yeah.
So I believe you are correct that you did violate the terms of your visa, that you didn't leave on time. So I think you're right. The answer to that is yes.
Okay. My second question is, will my current age affect the process? Because now I'm 21, but the I-130, we filed it when I was 19.
I don't know, because I've never had anyone do something that dumb before.
Okay.
So I don't know that. I think you might be okay, but I don't know. If you file the 45 after you turn 21, that could be a really big problem.
It's because the I-130, the notice of approval, something, it says section under 20 years old, unmarried child.
Yeah.
So,
So
I was
hopefully it kept that way. But I don't know. I've never known someone to file the 485 after the person turned 21. Even I've never had that happen before. I've never known anyone to do that. So it's an interesting case, but it's probably a mess, and you're probably going to have to fight to get your green card.
okay. So, what would you say are my chances of getting the green card with all this
I don't
info?
know. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, on the one hand, I could see you getting it. On the other hand, I could see you not. So I would say probably 25% you're going to get it, 75% you don't.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye, Laszlo.
Bye.
See you, buddy. I've
Bye.
never had that happen before. See, I was just saying to the new attorneys today in the office, we were talking about how to do intake, and I was telling them, dude, every single day I show up on this show or I show up at work and I talk to immigrants and I come across situations that I've never thought of before, I've never heard of before, I've never known anyone to do it. To say it in the not nicest way, I say it never ceases to amaze me how people can screw up their case. That was a very straightforward case that's now a whole lot messier because they didn't know something pretty basic, which was that if you're an immediate relative, and that is anyone under the age of 21 being filed for by their parent or their step parent, that they can adjust and file that 45 with the I-130. Tiago is here. Hello, Tiago.
Hey Jim, how's it going? Can you hear me?
Great. I hear you just fine. Thank you.
Hey, thank you so much for doing what you do. So basically, I was on the show a while back, and I had a question about leaving the country with I'm on a H-1B visa, and then returning. I have the advanced parole I-131 already set up, but my question was if coming back using the parole would avoid the H-1B visa. You told me to email your team. I did, and they responded back saying that I should come back on the show and ask because they couldn't
Oh,
answer
sorry.
on
I have
email.
your email. It's sitting in my inbox. I just haven't been able to look at it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just wondering, it's because my trip is in the beginning of December, so I just came back on the show to see if you have any
Okay, sure.
thoughts.
I'll try
Yeah.
to look in the next day or two and get back to you. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
no worries. Thank you so much, Jim. Appreciate what
Bye,
you do.
Tiago. See you, buddy.
Appreciate it.
All right, all right. Julio, please remind me of that, will you? I know I need to get back to Tiago. It's one of the few emails that's unanswered in my inbox, but I will check into that. Chirag was here yesterday. Chirag, are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Okay. So my question is, I filed a green card on September 22, 2022,
Based on
based on marriage.
okay to a U.S. citizen.
My wife is U.S. citizen. Sorry.
Okay, got it.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. She filed a green card. Okay. So on May 9th, like 6 months ago, they received my RFE, but like it's been the 6 months, I haven't received anything. So when I asked my lawyer says, "Oh, just wait, just wait. They have a lot of backlogs. They will reply you. They will send you something."
Well, what did they ask for in the RFE?
My RFE was my medical examination and my sponsor's 2021 tax return. Because before I sent it 2022, no, sorry, 2021. And then they said they need 2 years of tax return for your sponsor. So I asked my sponsor, and the lady says, I haven't filed my tax yet. So I asked my lawyer, and my lawyer says you can change your sponsor if you want. And then I changed my sponsor.
Okay.
Yeah, so I submit everything correctly on May 9. So it's been a 6 months. So I don't know, like, should I worry or what should I do?
What was the original filing date?
September 22, 2022.
And what was your status at the time that you filed?
Uh, I was college drop off. Like after I file, I drop my college off.
So you came on an F1?
No, I came on B1. I came on visitor visa with my ex-wife on 2014, middle of 2014, and then I got divorced around 2019, and then I married to my current wife on May 28, 2022. and I filed my she filed my green card right after I got married, 3 months after.
So I'm curious, in your mind, do you think yours is an easy, clean case, or do you think it's a hard, messy case?
I don't know yet, because my lawyer says, oh, they only need your the medical examination and your
Oh, I know,
the
but you didn't answer my
sponsor.
question. You didn't answer my
Hmm.
question. Do you, in your mind, do you view your case as a pretty easy case that USCIS should be able to decide pretty quickly, or do you think it's a messy case that's going to take longer than most people's cases?
Yeah, that's what happened to my case. I think this is they taking a little longer. I don't know why.
You don't know why?
No, sir.
Dude, you came to the United States on a visit visa with your spouse. You
Yeah.
then you then overstayed for years and years.
No, 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 no. I'm sorry. I think I didn't mention. So I came on visitor visa, but and then I changed my status to student on F1.
I don't care. That's fine. But you came on a visit with your spouse, and then you got divorced to that
Yeah.
spouse, and you switched from a B1 B2 to an F1 to be a student. Then you dropped
Yes.
out of school and married a U.S. citizen.
Yes,
That's
sir.
that's not an easy case. That's not a
Oh,
simple
okay.
case. This isn't a case that they're going to like. So I don't think you should think of your case as an easy one or one that's going to go fast like other people's. I think this is a more messy case, and I think you're most likely going to have an interview.
Oh, okay. So how
Maybe
to?
not.
So is there any way to resolve it? Clean the mess?
Well, let me ask you this question.
Mm-hmm.
um, on a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is I sent in a little bit of marital evidence, and 10 is I sent in a mountain of evidence,
Uh-huh.
how much did you send in?
The evidence I got like middle of mountain.
Middle of mountain? Okay. 5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
five,
I
five,
mean,
six.
I
Yeah.
think they're going to be suspicious of your case. Here's some good questions to flesh this out to see just how suspicious the case is. Are you ready? Oh, by the way,
Uh-huh.
I forgot. The Jets are
Yeah.
playing tonight. I'm supposed to be wearing my Jets hat. So there you go. All right. Sorry. Okay. 2 questions for you.
Yeah.
1, the woman that you entered the United States with, your former spouse,
Mm-hmm.
are they still here in the United States?
Yes.
Did they marry a U.S. citizen?
No.
What are they doing immigration wise?
I think she doesn't have any status.
She's just hanging out.
Yeah.
And you listed her on your I-130 and your 45, and you have the divorce decree and all that,
Yes, I do have a divorce and everything. Yeah.
and you listed her.
When I file a green card, no.
You didn't list her as a prior spouse.
I mean, it's the mention on my divorce paper, right? So that's why.
Well, on the I-130, it asks about prior spouses. Did you list your prior spouse on your
Uh,
I-130?
I have no idea about that things, Jim.
It'd be a good thing to check, my brother.
Oh, okay.
Yep. The other question is, the person that you married, the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
citizen,
Yeah.
have they ever been involved in the immigration process before?
No.
Have they ever been married before?
No.
Do they have kids?
No.
Are they of the same ethnic background as you?
No. I'm Indian and she's Spanish.
Okay. And she was born in the United States?
No, she born in Mexico, but she got her citizenship because of her dad.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't think this is going to be an easy case. I don't think they're just going to give you a green card really easily. And I really
Okay.
think you need to check your I-130 to make sure that you listed your spouse.
Okay. I'll check it.
All right, Chirag. Thanks, buddy.
All right, sir. Thank you so much. Appreciate it for your time.
Good luck. Let us know how it goes, okay?
Sure, sir. Definitely.
Bye, Chirag. Richie's here. What do you say, Richie? Richie, you're on mute. I can't hear you.
Sorry. Sorry. Hi, Jim. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
All right, I'm doing great. I've always watched your show, first time here. So,
Awesome. Well,
let's
you gotta say you have to
see.
say you have to say my favorite thing. Long
Oh,
time listener, first time caller.
yes, long time listener, first time caller.
Thank you, Richie. Thank you.
No problem. Here's my question. Tell me what you think. Okay.
Okay.
So, my wife filed for me back in 2020, got my I-130 approved, got my interview scheduled for the next month.
Mhm.
I have two kids in Jamaica. When I was approved, the kids were on the I-130 as derivative because she was a green card holder.
Mhm.
So now she's a citizen. I went through the process and I did the DS 260 for the kids and
No,
myself.
you can't.
I did
Can
it
you do it?
because she was a green card holder at that time.
But now she's a U.S. citizen.
Yeah. So the DS 260 were sent in and everything were listed as completed, submitted. Then she became a citizen. I updated her status through USCIS or NVC, I think, and the kids are now it's in an incomplete phase. Um,
So here's my understanding. Here's how I'm going to explain it to you, Richie. This is what I
okay,
believe. This is what I believe to be true. I don't know 100% that it's true, but I'm 99% sure that what I'm about to say to you is true. Are you ready?
yes,
Let's say that you were let's say that you were about to get your immigrant visa to come to the United States and your wife was a green card holder. And
okay,
the day before you went to the and you had these two kids and they were listed and they were derivatives and you'd done a DS 260 for them. My
okay,
understanding is that if on the day before you went to pick up all of your visas, she became a US citizen, the
yes.
cases for the kids are over and she has to
Oh,
file I-130s for each kid. I think that's the rule.
oh, oh, okay. And does the I-130 take the same processing time, like 14 months a year?
Yep.
I don't need to do over the DS 260 again, right?
Well,
I paid for that some.
you will once the I-130s are approved. You can keep trying to go with this case. I think it's dead for the kids. You can
Oh
keep
no,
trying to
I
go.
what I did submit new I-130s for the kids,
Oh, okay. Okay.
and I think the mess was on their end, but hey, because I did submit or updated information before it was approved. I guess they didn't review the information, so it wasn't changed. I had to reach out
But
to them again.
just timing wise,
Yes,
she files for you as a green card holder. You list the kids.
yes,
You get your I-130 gets approved, and
yes,
then she becomes a U.S. citizen.
correct. Yes,
And after she becomes a U.S. citizen, you file an I-130 for each kid.
yes.
And then those are the DS-260s that you filed, or DS-260s back from when they were derivatives.
They were. It was done when they were derivatives.
So the I-130s that you filed for the kids, have those been approved by USCIS?
No, I did that last month.
So you're just waiting on those.
Yes. So does it normally take that same 14
Yeah,
months? Oh, so
yeah.
it's gonna take the same
Maybe a
14
little
months.
faster. Maybe a little faster because they
She,
don't have to figure out that your case has been approved. Have you sent your I-130 approval notice for you to them with the new applications for the kids so that they know that
I,
that USCIS has already concluded that your marriage is valid?
I didn't see that section. How do I do that now
Yeah,
that I've already?
I would either upload it or send it to them. Just send
All
your
right.
approval notice in each
So
case.
do I go to the USCIS website where I did submit information and try to submit additional information?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else?
You're
Is
just
there
chilling.
one more question? One more question. So I got as I said, I got my interview date, but when I try to schedule the medical, it's telling me that, let's say, for example, my interview date is on January 5th, and my schedule for medical, the closest date I can get is the 20th of January. Would that be an issue?
Is this Jamaica?
Yes.
Yeah, everybody's telling us the same thing. Just keep going. Just do the next right thing.
So just go to the interview and let them know.
So what are you going to do? You're going to pick up that visa and go to the United States and wait for your kids, or what are you going to do?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna have to do, or
Okay,
so forth. Okay,
got it.
but okay, that's it. So
Thanks,
yeah,
Richie.
all right, no problem. Thank you so much, Jimmy.
Bye,
All right, take
buddy.
care.
See you,
Bye.
man. Yeah, for sure. All right, new girl's here. What do you say, new girl? Hello, new girl. I don't think she hears us. I don't think she knows I'm talking to her. All right, all right. Let's go to Lucky Ease. What's up, Lucky Ease?
Hi, nice to meet you, Jamie. I have a question. I have a VAWA, and I got the VAWA approval last year, September, and then in October they sent me an I-693 deficiency notice. I haven't gotten any feedback from them because when they sent that letter, they said I shouldn't respond until they send me a follow-up letter.
You're just
So
chilling. You're just
yeah,
chilling. It's going to be another year probably before the 45 is approved.
oh, okay, I-485. Okay.
How long was the I-360 pending?
So the I-360, I got the receipt notice February 11, 2020, and I got approved in 2022 September.
Yeah, so probably soon. They'll probably get working on your green card and finish it up maybe by the end of the year, if not early next year.
Okay, so I'm still in line, right? There's no.
You're still just waiting.
Oh, okay. So I
Hey,
don't need to
did I
like.
say your name wrong? Because Showman says I need a class on Nigerian names. Did I say your name wrong?
So Lucky Eze. It's Eze, not easy.
Az.
Eze.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Az.
All right, thanks.
See, bud. All right, I do. You know, the one of the names I really butcher is, I don't really know how to say it, is Timitope. I always say Timitope, but I know that's like totally the way a white guy would say it. Timitope. I don't know. He's on here all the time. You guys have probably seen him. How in the hell do I say Timitope? I just say Timitope. I mean, that's like the whitest way to ever say name. It's like, your name's Juliana. Sorry, everybody. I do need a class on Nigerian names. Who's going to teach me that class? Showman, you're going to come on and teach me how to say Nigerian names? Come on now. Patrick is here. Hello, Patrick.
Hey Jim, how's it going?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Good. Can you hear me okay?
I hear you just fine.
Awesome. So I'm also a longtime viewer, first time caller. I have a question regarding that particular question on the N400 regarding like cited, violation, arrested, etc.
Have you ever been arrested,
My
cited, or
main
detained by law enforcement? Yep.
Yes, have you ever? Correct. So my main concern is before I apply, is that on the I-130 initially, when I did an adjustment of status from F1 to green card, which was approved, and I have my 10-year card now, is that I put no, not knowing that, you know, a traffic ticket, which I had 2 of at the time, counted. So my question to you now is, should I put no again, or should I put yes and then put this of when that happened, even though those years were before I submitted my 130?
It's just for traffic stuff?
Yeah, it's 2 speeding tickets that happened prior to me doing my I-130. So I'm wondering if I put no at the time and it was accepted. Should I put yes, even though the dates will have been before my I-130?
So my question might be, how long ago did you get your green card?
The original one, 2019, and the 10-year one, March of 22.
So, and you're concerned about the one from 2019?
No, I'm just concerned on my application for citizenship. Yeah, yes.
No, but you're concerned about the no that you put on 2019.
Correct.
I would go back and look at the exact question that was asked and the exact answer that was given, because up until at some point in my career in the last 10 years, they changed to start asking that of green card holders. They didn't used to ask that of green card holders. So I would see if there's a little bit of wiggle room that you could play with from the prior answer and the question that's being asked now, if the questions are different. But even if they're not, I would just make sure to list them now and to say, I didn't understand that traffic was something that was covered by this question about arrest. If I'd known about it, I would have told you, and I'm sorry.
Okay. So it's not a situation where they would immediately like think, oh, you lied before. If I
think where you
include
get
it
in
and then
trouble,
preface it.
Yeah, I think where you get in trouble is, and the Supreme Court has actually said this, the question is whether it was material. In other words, would they have denied your case if they knew about these 2 traffic tickets? No, they wouldn't. And would they, or did you, here's the question, did you cut off a legitimate line of inquiry by the officer. So I would say, again, 2 traffic tickets that are just speeding are not that. Now, if you had told them not about a prior wife or something, then that would be different.
Yeah.
But
No, for
I
sure,
think
for
just
sure.
I think just this, I think you're fine.
Okay, because I've never had any issues with anything like from F2 to F1 to this, so I just feel like every little detail, I don't want to ever seem like I'm lying or hiding something. So I just wanted to get like your feel as an attorney. What would you think is the best way to go? So
I would do
include
just what I
anything that I've
said.
had.
Yep,
Okay. Okay. And then do you have time for a second question?
I do.
Okay. So this is not for myself, but for a family member. Their situation was that they were on a F1 visa and they were re-entering the country. Secondary, they found reasons for removal, etc. They got a 5-year ban. I believe that was under expedited removal. Now that the 5 years has been up, I was wondering if they needed to file that form N-700. I don't remember the exact name. Requesting.
What are they hoping to do? What would they want to get?
They
a
just
new
want to get a
immigrant
tourist visa.
Yeah, they're not
Yeah.
going to get.
Okay.
I mean, most
That's
tourist
just a sad
visas,
reality.
most tourist visas are denied. There's no right to a tourist visa. So what
Right.
was what was it that popped up at secondary inspection that made him get expedited removal? What was it?
Yeah. So I believe it was something to do with like they were doing
Working.
tax returns, but they were getting money back, like reporting the income and whatnot. Obviously, they're not supposed to work under F1, and it was outside of the college. And then I believe they also found like maybe documentation regarding, maybe a fake social security card, something like that. So they found that, when going through their stuff. So those were the reasons for the expedited removal.
So I don't think that person's ever going to get a non-immigrant visa to the United States. They might get an immigrant visa, but not a non-immigrant visa.
Gotcha. Okay. And let's say hypothetically they were able to be sponsored by a U.S. citizen for a green card, would that
That's what I'm saying.
stop them?
That's what I'm saying. If they were married to a U.S. citizen and file for a green card, I think they might have a misrepresentation issue later on. But there's at least a path for them to come. They might have to get a waiver for making misrepresentations or for working here without permission. But
Gotcha.
I would say that there's still a path. It's just a harder path.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much for your time.
See you, Patrick.
See you later.
I see a discussion going on in the comments. Oh yeah, I Showman Temitoke. I don't know. We'll see. People are talking about whether you have to disclose tickets over or under $500 or over $100. That shit's all over. If you got a traffic ticket, if you got a citation, if it's a driving citation, you have to list it. I take the position for parking or red light cameras, you don't. But any ticket now is a citation, and you have to list it. So that whole $500 or $100, that's all old news. So forget about that. All right, and Rocio, I don't know if I've ever said your name correctly. I hope I have. Rocio Astorga. I can't roll my R's. That's why I got a C- in Russian, because I couldn't roll my R's, and the Russian word for fish is riba. So I couldn't roll my R's. We did a whole thing on me not being able to roll my R's before. So, all right. That was Patrick. Looks like New Girl's back. Let's see if we can get her. New Girl, are you there?
Hi, counselor. Can you take me off camera, please?
You are off camera, New Girl.
Okay. My case is like this. In April, I filed for the I-129, and I didn't hear anything from them, and I got married after 4 visits from my significant other, and we got married in October of last year. I filed the I-130 and the I-485 concurrently in August.
Did you withdraw the I-129F?
Yes, I withdrew the 129.
So when you filed,
and in July,
sorry to interrupt you. When you filed the I-129F, your fiance was overseas?
No, he's here. He came over last. He came over in September of last year, and we got married in October.
No, I get that, but I just want to clarify something. When you filed the I-129F, they were overseas.
Yes, he was overseas.
In that
Yeah.
case, just taking too long, and then he came on a visit, and then you went ahead and got married.
Yes, because he had a visa. He had a multiple indefinite visa, so he was always going and coming.
When did he enter, and when did you get married?
Pardon me?
When did he enter? What was the date of his entry, and what was the date of your marriage?
He came over for 3 visits before,
But
and on the 4th visit,
on the visit you got married
in September. Yes, he came in September, and we got married in October.
Okay, so sweetheart, that's a problem.
Pardon me?
That's a problem. That's a problem, because if you get married within 60 days of arrival, they presume that you had immigrant intent and that you lied to get into the United States. So that's a problem for you and for him right now. But go ahead. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Okay, yes, I understand what you're saying. And we got yeah. Okay. He
Go ahead. Are you still there? I don't know. I guess we're having some connection problems. Let's say hi to Jerry. Hello, Jerry.
Hi, Jim. So I spoke to one of your intake specialists, Romel. He asked me to come on the show to ask my question.
Okay.
So I came to the United States on F1, then transitioned to the H1B, and then married a US citizen late last year. I got my conditional green card last month, first week of October this year. And my marriage is unfortunately is like on the rocks and almost over. Like my wife will be moving out next month. And based on what you've been asking everyone, like my marital evidence is like a 6 out of 10.
Okay.
Based on what's on the website.
And just to be clear, you already have the 2-year green card, right?
Yeah, I have the conditional green card.
What's the start date on the conditional green card?
It's first week of October this year.
And now all of a sudden you're having marriage problems 1 month later?
Yeah.
I'm not sure I understand.
Yeah, Siri doesn't understand. Did you hear it? Siri's confused, and USCIS is going to be confused. They've seen that movie before of people saying, "Oh my God, would you believe it? As soon as I got my 2-year green card, the marriage went to shit."
Yeah.
How are you gonna? I don't care about your 6. How are you gonna beat that back? That's a big problem.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, what are my question is that what are the things you think I should work on in terms of documents these last few weeks I have while I'm living with her in the same house?
Yeah. So, I'll say a couple of things. Number one is whatever marital evidence you can get that's new since you filed the original case. Number two, here's my question for you.
Yeah.
Do you think the divorce is going to be mean and nasty, or do you think the divorce is going to be sort of friendly?
Friendly.
Okay. So that again cuts both ways, because then they're like, oh, that's just part of the scheme, just get divorced easily right after. But assuming that we can prove that the marriage was real, the question then becomes, what's the spouse going to say if USCIS knocks on her door?
She's not going to have anything mean to say about me. And just to add one more point, we were in a relationship for 2 years and 2 months before we got married.
That's cool. That's good.
Okay.
Okay.
We lived together for 6 months before we got married in 2022.
And if I were to ask you broadly, like in plain language, what's the problem with the marriage?
I mean, it's just like, first thing, there's like age difference, like about 9 years. And next thing is that,
but of course, that's always been true, right?
And then the other issue is that based on the career advancements, like right now, our goals are not matching in terms of what we want in life. Like we discussed it earlier, but it's changed for her now. She doesn't want to buy a house or have any kids. She's young and she wants to work for a few more years, and
She's younger than you or older than you?
she's younger than me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what's your question?
So I mean, do you? I mean, you've already like said that it's not good right now, based on that.
I think it's a tough case. I mean, someone moving out within 30 or 60 days after getting the conditional green card, that's no bueno.
Okay.
That's a hard case to win. Not saying it's impossible, and if she'll sign an affidavit later on that says, yeah, it was a real marriage that just didn't work out, we can work with that, but that's a tough case. That right at the
And
2 year, I've won those cases before, 751 solos right after the 2 years, but those are tough.
okay. And also the lease is ending this month, which is one of the reasons why we decided.
Why it's forcing the issue.
Yeah, it's forcing the
Yeah.
issue, because if we didn't have a longer lease, then maybe we could have worked things out.
Well, could you ask for the landlord to let you go month to month?
No, they don't do that over here.
All right. Well, good luck, Jerry. Let me know if you need anything. Okay.
Yeah, is it possible to work with you, Jim?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we can help. Yeah, for sure. We handle these cases a lot. I think it'd be good. Why did Romel tell you to call me on the show? Why didn't he just
Yeah,
talk to you about?
because I asked him like if he can start working on the case immediately and like get all the documents that they need to file the 751, but he said that I need to file the divorce and then call you guys. But I
Yeah,
think
I
it'll be
mean
late.
that's probably my fault. I mean, in certain circumstances, we can get started sooner rather than later. So, did you when you called the office, did you use the name Jerry or did you use a different name?
A different name.
Okay,
I
Hooli
can,
thinks she found you though. Yeah, Hooli's got you. Okay, I'll have
okay.
Hooli reach out and we'll follow up. Okay.
Okay, thanks a lot, Jim.
Thanks, Jerry. See you, buddy. Have a good day.
Yeah, thanks, you too.
All right, let's see what Ruth has to say. Hello, Ruth.
Hey, Jim. So my husband, that we've been married 2 years now, he came into the country without inspection. He was detained and applied for asylum. So we got married almost 2 years after he applied for asylum. He'd never even been to his master hearing. He just got that case, his asylum, administratively closed, and we've had a pending I-130 since June 2022. So I'm just wondering if we can do, if this is enough time where we could consider suing, or I know this case is complicated with his asylum and his entry. So what advice can you offer me?
Are you doing okay? You sound sort of sad.
No, I'm just nervous.
Oh no, you're nervous being on with me, or you're just nervous about the case?
I'm nervous in general about the case, but I'm just nervous talking to you.
Yeah. Oh, no reason to be nervous to me. I only yell at people that say dumb things and don't listen to me. But, and even then I don't yell. All right. So I have a U.S. citizen who's married to someone who entered without inspection, filed for asylum. The case was assigned to an immigration court. The case was then admin closed without ever having a master calendar hearing.
Yes.
And the I-130 has been pending for 14 months.
Yes.
If you were to have an interview on the I-130, where would that interview happen?
So it would be in New Orleans. I've been told our case file is in New Orleans. That's where we live. I mean, it's right down the street from my office.
Okay. And have you either been married before?
Oh, so no, we have not been married. In some of his credible fear interview, he was living with someone. He was in a serious relationship. They were never married, but some of the paperwork lists him as being married, even though they were he says in his interview they're partners living together, and he even submitted with our I-130 a civil status listing him as single from Honduras. So he was never married, but I don't know if that complicates anything.
I think so. Yeah. Did the fact that he was married and contributed at all to? Did they make a credible fear finding? Did they say yes or no?
Yes, he was found credible.
Okay. And do you know if his marital status had anything to do with that? Like, did they highlight that at all?
No, I just see it listed in the interview, and I also see it in his biographical information as married, and has the partner's name.
So, and okay, so that's a problem. That's probably holding things up. If I mean, one, it might be held up just because the case is, he had the other case, and that just the fact that he's with other agencies and that you just got the proceedings terminated. Did you, when someone's in removal, you have to make a good faith marriage exemption request. Did you do that when you filed?
Yes, well, we were working with a lawyer, and they did.
And you know that you have to
request.
prove the whole thing by clear and convincing evidence, right?
Yes.
How long after that your husband entered did you get married?
He was released from detention August 2019. We got married over 2 years after that.
Okay, good. Yeah, so he's just sort of out and about. He met you.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Were you going to say we knew each other in Honduras?
No, well, we knew. I met him. I actually worked at the detention center where he was detained, but we basically met on Facebook afterwards. We actually met in person after that, 3 months after he was released.
Well, wait a minute. So can we prove that you didn't meet at the detention center?
I mean, we had, I don't know what would that look like?
I guess what I'm asking is there were times where there were days where you went to work and he was at that detention center.
Yes. And I put that in my affidavit, my statement of how we met each other. It's clear that those times overlapped, and that was addressed, clearly.
Do you still work there?
No.
Was it Oakdale?
No.
Okay. All right. So what can I answer for you, Ruth?
I guess I want to know, is there, so we should just keep waiting for the I-130. It is complicated. It is reasonable that it's taking 14 months.
Well, I think what I'd be spending this time doing is how the hell do I convince USCIS that he's free to marry? That's the whole shooting match. Because sometimes what they do is they do this really evil trick. The not so evil trick would be to say, hey, Ruth's husband, prove to us that you weren't married. But the worst thing that they do is they say, oh, hey, Ruth's husband, it says here that you're already married. So we're just going to deny this I-130 because you're not free to marry.
Okay, so I don't know what his asylum 589 said about him being married.
Have you requested it?
I could probably get that direct. We're still working with that same lawyer, so yes, I could get that probably.
You should. Yeah, that's the whole shooting match. The whole shooting match is whether he's free to marry. I mean, there's other complications too, like he entered without inspection, and he's going to have to consular process and all that stuff, which sucks. But even before we get there, to me, I would not sue on this case, and to me, it's a ticking time bomb of how the hell do I make the strongest case possible that he was free to marry? Do I have an affidavit from the person who says who I said was who they believed was my spouse?
But so we sent, the lawyer requested that we get from Honduras his certification of civil status, which was single. So that's not enough.
I wouldn't think so. I think they'd really want to hear in a notarized form from the alleged spouse and from alleged family members who have knowledge of the relationship.
Okay.
I think you got to throw everything you got at this. It's the central issue of the case. And And I mean, in my mind, let's say I'm evil USCIS. I'll say, oh, well, he got this certificate that says he's free to marry, but that doesn't mean he didn't get married and hid it.
Right.
That's what you're fighting with.
So a
This is a
statement.
tough case. This is a tough case.
Okay. Yeah. So a statement from the alleged.
Everybody,
Yeah.
everybody who has knowledge,
Okay.
including him.
Yeah. And so
He needs to. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. He needs to. I would say he should spend a lot of time. He should just lay in the dark, thinking about all of his interactions with those officers, trying to remember how it could be that they came to assume that he was actually married. Now, maybe the translator was a drunk, or maybe the translator was trying to fuck him. You know what I'm saying? So you need to come up with a plausible story from his end about why they got this so wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then you need to prove up that he was free to marry. Those are the two big things, I think.
Okay. Yeah. His credible fear. I just looked at it. It says, "Are you single, married, living with partner?" And it says in his response, "Living with partner," and then lists all the information. So then later on it says married, but yeah. Okay.
That's good. So you can hang your hat on that and push back on that. I mean, at the very least, they had noticed that his position was, at least during part of the conversation, that he was living with a partner and not. I mean, if two choices are married and living with a partner, then that could just be bad record keeping on their part, and they can, piss off.
Right. And then the fact that he requested asylum, will that be complication when he goes to do consular processing?
Yeah, he'll have to figure out a place to go somewhere else. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you.
Bye, Ruth. See ya.
Thanks.
Tough case. Let's say hi to Zell. What do you say, Zell?
Hey, Mr. Jim.
How you doing,
Thank you
buddy?
for taking my call. I'm good. Thank you. And we appreciate what
I'm a sucker for people laying down without their shirt on, so I always call on the people.
I know. I know.
What's
I've been
up?
listening to your show for a while now.
Awesome. Thanks for watching.
I'm calling for behalf of my brother.
Okay.
He's in overseas right now. My dad filed for him, and it's been like his receiving date. I think is May 2013.
And Dad's a U.S. citizen?
Yeah,
And your brother's married or unmarried?
that's the problem. When my dad filed, he was not married, and then when he has he was supposed to pay like the visa and everything, and he at that time he got married, you know, and then he put he's married right now, but right at this moment right now he's divorced.
Yeah, I had this. I did this. We did this research last year. I think the case is over, and he's got to start over. I think. If you email me, I can find that memo and send you the answer. I have it all written up. We did it for another case. If you email me, I'll email you the answer of whether or not he has to start over.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Because one of the lawyers, someone tell him to start over, and I have not an opinion from someone else. They told me
I'm
he
pretty sure
just
he has to start over. I'm pretty sure he has to start over.
okay. All right.
All right.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Zell. See you, buddy.
Thank you, Mr. Jim.
You got it. All right. Let's go to Sandra. Hello, Sandra.
Hey, Jim. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Good. Today is the best day of my life. My husband finally got his visa approved from Ghana.
Awesome. Oh, I'm happy for you.
And your amazing wife did a mock interview with us on Thursday. So she is amazing. So I just want to thank you and your company. You guys have been phenomenal.
Thank you, Sandra. I'm very happy. When's he coming?
December 2nd.
So he'll be here for Christmas.
Yes.
That's great.
Yay.
Congratulations. Oh, Sandra, thanks so much. I'm going to tell Imani. Does she know yet that it got approved?
No.
Oh, I'll go tell her right now. This is a great way to end the show.
All righty. Well, thank
Thanks
you
so
guys
much.
so much. Okay.
Here's my question. Was she tougher than the real officer? I bet she was.
Oh, she was tough. I was like, "Ooh, she's no one to play with."
No, she's no one to play with. Thanks, Sandra. Have a great night.
Okay, you too. Bye bye.
Yeah. Oh, what a nice way to end the show. What a nice smile she had. Wasn't that great? All right. It's almost like I scripted it, but I didn't. So how about that? Thank you, Sandra. You made my day. All right, everybody. That'll do it for today's show. I'm going to take some rolling my R and Spanish lessons from Huli so I can say people's names correctly. We'll have to have someone from Nigeria on to help me out with that. I don't think I'll ever get Timotop right, so I know I'm just butchering it. But I hope you all have a great night. Jets are playing at 7:20. Hopefully they win, and we will see you guys tomorrow at 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock tomorrow. Thanks, everybody. Good night. Good night.